That's how I'm just coming in on this. I had a song, and it's a he said, she said song. But since we're already behind, welcome back. I could have played that too. Welcome back, right? Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Anyway, welcome back to He Said, and I'm the she said of the he said. And then we got the they, what they said. Okay, what they have said. All right, so since we haven't been here since October, my goodness, how long that has been. We're going to introduce ourselves. This is a relationship show where we talk about all things relationships, from single, married, divorce, whatever topic comes up. Is there some feedback?
No, I don't hear.
Oh, you don't
It
hear?
is. It is.
I think it's,
Tyrone, Tyrone might need to mute his
can
because
you?
I didn't hear it. Okay.
Yeah. So we talk about all things relationship, right? Because this is in the world is something that needs to be talked about from, we may have a Christian perspective. We may have all different perspectives. You see, we got one, two, three, four, five people on here, soon to probably have six because we're going to even this out with another woman. Mm-hmm. But me and sis gonna hold it down for today. So we're gonna introduce ourselves. I am Tony Denise Lattimore, your She Said host. And so we are at some point going to become a podcast, like real podcast, okay, with the mics and all that stuff. And then this just came to me today to have an in-person podcast. I'd love to do that on a stage, right, with an audience. So it's going to be done. But for today, we are here on YouTube. So share this out. You know, it's going to be, I don't know how it's going to be today because we got a new podcaster with us today, Sam. And so
Yes.
we have to get to know Sam. Sam has to get to know us. And so I'm going to turn the mic over to Husband because I can't leave out my head covering. Okay. So he can talk about himself and what he brings to the table. Husband. See, we
Um,
can't.
You have to take it off mute. Yeah.
It don't look like it's on mute though.
It's off mute. Tyrone, you talking? We can't hear you. Is that a
He has the what?
is that a flip phone? Tyrone, we can't hear you.
You might have to go out and come back in and reset it.
Yeah.
You think he needs to go all the way back out and then reset the mic?
Yes.
Okay. So you might have to go out one more time. Hopefully you can come back in quickly. Because we can't hear you. Okay, well, we're going to, while we're waiting on the he said, we're going to go to one member of the they said, and we're going to let's go to our regular panelist. Who wants to go first, Rich or Mac?
I do. So I am Mac, and head of Mac the Cleanup Woman. I have offer a luxury cleaning experience. Check me out. You won't be disappointed. I used to be an educator for, I don't know, probably like 17 years. Then during the pandemic, switched completely over and started cleaning. And it's been great. God has been in the blessing business. Still doing it in Chicago and Atlanta. Um, but looking to probably relocate somewhere. So that's all I have for y'all today. But if you're looking for a good cleaning woman, I'm your girl.
I guess everybody should say where they are as far as relationships. So I'm married to the Mister here who can't get on. We've been married, this year will be 10 years. Previously divorced, was married for 11 years. So I definitely got to top that 11 years and make it do what it do, you know? All
Uh,
right.
I was married for 14, together for 17, been single for quite some time. Just recently I hadn't been in a relationship for about 5 years, almost six. Started dating a gentleman. He was a great guy. It just, I think distance just didn't work. So I'm single again and happy single and trying to be, just work at my craft and growing my business and getting closer to finishing the game of work so I can retire and make life be exactly what I wanted to do. I want to wake up every day and do exactly what I want to do. So that's where I'm at.
Okay, okay. Rich, you up? Husband, you're gonna have to go out and come back in because we can't hear you. Nope. Is he looking like that? Go out and come back in.
I'm rich. I've been married twice. I'll say that before Tony says it because I know she gonna say it at some point during the show. Uh, I don't know what else. I'm single, like Cheryl said.
How long you been single?
I've been single almost about a year now. I date, I hang out, I date, all that good stuff. What else do they need to know?
Whatever you want them to know.
You want to know the length of my marriage?
If you like.
Nah, let Sam. I delve into that during the show. So I'm done talking. Plus, I gotta talk to Mac about some stuff too. But go ahead. Sam is up now.
Wait, let me see if we can hear him. I don't think
Can
so.
you hear me?
Oh, okay. There you go, he said.
Out and in, out and in, out and in and out.
Okay, come on, you up?
Oh yeah.
What up, Rich? What up? What up? What up? What up, Macadocious?
What up, bro? What up?
What's my man name? What's your name? What's his name? Can
Mass.
you hear? Huh?
Mass.
Ooh.
Mask?
Oh,
Pow.
the other person that's on, that's
Yeah.
Cleopas. Cleopas.
Cleopas. Okay. What up,
No, his
Cleopas?
name's Sam. His name's Sam. Sam.
Sam. Okay. Okay. What up, y'all? My name is Mr. Lattimore, aka Morris Chestnut, aka Tyrone Lattimore. No, but no, yeah, I'm married to Tony Denise Lattimore. I'm an ASC approved mechanic. I've been doing it for over 20, 28. Let me see, how am I? Damn, I'm getting old now. Over 30 years now. Yeah, since I got out of school. So over 30 years, I've been a mechanic. Yeah. Recently, I moved to Orlando, Florida. So not fully stationary, but it's coming to the making. So 49 years old, own my own business, love it. Life is good, blessed. Uh, yeah, living in my Ephesians.
Ephesians.
320.
Okay.
320.
I want to see. Did you know the other part?
I'm living in my overflow, so let's go.
All right, Sam, you're up.
Hi, I'm Sam. Been married a couple of times. 65 years old in this March 24th. So if anybody want to send me any birthday gifts, you can. What else? Live in the Atlanta, Georgia area
Okay.
in Decatur.
Okay.
Um, what else you would like to know?
Okay.
Are you dating now?
What?
Yeah, I date. Yes,
Okay.
Okay.
What do you
So
do for a
nothing
living?
serious.
nothing serious.
Okay.
Okay. So back. We are back. Are there any questions that Rich, you said you got, questions for sure. You want to start there? Why don't you start there?
Let's do it. Let's do it. Cheryl, what happened? Wow, you was dating a vegetarian. What happened?
Oh Lord. Oh
Well,
Lord.
it really wasn't.
Ty, Ty, you know what's up. Come
Oh
on. What happened?
Lord.
It wasn't about what he ate. It just
I
didn't.
know. I just remembered he was. I
He
just
was.
remember.
He was a health. I shouldn't
Mhm.
say he was a vegetarian because he did eat.
Healthy.
He did eat healthy. He would even.
Right.
So I guess he would eat lamb chops too. So that wasn't all the way. Like he wasn't a vegetarian. Great
Okay.
guy. Treated me wonderfully.
Okay.
I just think that I'm just gonna say this. I'm gonna wrap it up. It distance. I'm gonna say that didn't work.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah. But he was a good guy. I have nothing. I don't have anything bad to say about him.
Distance for you or him or both.
Me,
Okay.
not both. Me.
So he didn't have a problem with the distance. You, I'm trying to understand, but
Yeah.
because you back and forth, so
Well, and this is the other thing too. Well, without putting his business in my currently, when I live in Chicago, I stay with my
Mm-hmm.
son.
okay,
When I'm here in Atlanta, I do have my own spot. However, he stays there, and he is his mom's house, but he pays all the bills. So, that kind of wasn't working for me. I mean, if we wanted to spend time together, we always got to go to a hotel. That's kind of a little bit much for me. Like, I can't never just chill. I can't never just come and be like, "Hey, I'm coming on over." No, that wasn't happening. I'm not gonna have him come to my son's house and crash. And B, I'm not gonna be disrespectful and go to his mom's house and crash. I'm too old for that. It felt kind of like high school, like I'm in high school and I'm doing that.
okay.
What y'all think about that from a male's perspective?
I went through it, Tony, in a different form with the last person I dated, who you all knew. Her and her mom stayed together with her kids, so I couldn't go over there and watch the Price is Right, or whatever we were gonna do. And I was traveling to get her to come back to hang with me, so it just became tiresome
Mm.
for me. So I get what Cheryl's saying.
Mm.
I'm gonna
Just
say, I'm going to say, didn't you know that at first?
Mm.
Yeah, I knew
Mm.
Yeah, I did.
Mm.
However, I'm the person that sometimes you think you're meeting somebody, you're trying to go through the motions, trying to get to know someone, and you think that you can overcome, deal with, it won't be this bad, it won't be a problem, it won't be an issue. And then you get in there and smack dab and like boom. It ain't
Right.
what you thought it was, or it don't work for you. And it didn't work for me.
It didn't
So
work.
I did. I knew all of that going in. I did. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna act like I didn't. I'm not gonna act like, oh my God, I didn't know he stayed with his mama. And I'm
Right.
not even saying that in a negative way.
Right.
He makes enough money that
Uh-oh.
he could live on his own, but he
Mm-hmm.
has chosen because his mom is retired
It's an echo.
Spanish.
It might be Tyrone. It's
Yeah,
probably
Huh?
too many people with their mic on. It's an echo. I can
Is it
make that.
echo? No, it ain't
Yeah.
me. I'm in the house.
So yeah, I did know it going in.
Okay.
So you didn't like them enough then?
That's what. There you go. She didn't like them enough. Because if she liked them, she would have went to the hell and back with them. So
Yes.
she didn't like them. She really didn't
That's
like
possible.
them.
That's possible.
Yeah. Most people, when they like you, a girl, she don't care where you are. If you're in the, if I'm in the garage, you under the car with me talking shit. So
That's right.
yeah, they like you. They like you. So
Was he from the south side or the west side?
Here we go again.
He was a South Sider.
he's
Here you
South
go.
Sider.
Here you go.
Yeah, he's
Something
South
about
Sider.
those Southsiders.
Okay, so with y'all men who
Mm-hmm.
are single, what are y'all seeing? What are some of the patterns in women or what you're seeing that's out here now?
Well, I've been divorced 9 years,
Mhm.
and I've had to get to know myself, learn about uh, dating um, for 9 years. Um, Women, a lot of times, are just not satisfied.
Talk about that. What does that mean?
That means that today they might uh, think something is okay, and then it becomes a problem.
Give me a specific,
I mean,
like,
just like she said, she knew it from the start,
Mm-hmm.
right? So all of a sudden it became an issue, right? Um, and most of the time, even though you're discussing what's going on in the relationship, right? Things become an issue because um, people think they can do better. So that's what I think.
mm. And Tyrone, you can chime in too, because you talk to a lot of women in the profession you in and hear a lot of stuff too. So what do you see? What do you see, Rich, with you dating? Thoughts on what Sam just said. Basically that women we switch up. So y'all consistent?
Well, no, he's absolutely right. Some minute you can say, well, damn, she knew I wasn't like this when we got together, and then in that instance, yeah, because he's right. Then they'll change, well, then they start not to like you. So I believe that that's a true factor because but I guess I can only speak from a marriage point of view that like what I mean that me and you been through it. Like some stuff you be like that you already knew that I was like this, but it's a difference between you. We desire improvement and change. So me and you, we don't look at it as a standstill. You're a motivator for me. I'm motivated for you. I'm a hustler. You became a hustler, so we both.
I'm not
Uh,
a husband.
well, you got to be technical with her ass, but she a money making machine. Okay, y'all. But anyway, yeah, so she's learned how to, make dividends and get income, make better incomes. So with us, it's like we're married. She's a more of a challenge. She's more of a like, okay, you did this, you this like this, or you was like this, but you don't have to stay this way. So it does take a certain kind of person, and as you have to say, because from a guy perspective, most guys that I know, they like, well, I was like this from the beginning. I ain't gonna stop, and they're not willing to change. But if it's a good reason and the change is for your better, then I believe in doing it. I believe in doing it, especially for somebody you love. If it's going to better you and y'all situation and y'all relationship, then I believe you should go for that change. But as a person dating, and I would probably feel the same way. Well, you knew I was like this when you got with me. So what is the problem now? You know what I mean? So you're trying to require me to change, and I don't even know if you're gonna stay for the long haul. You might be gone. You might decide I might change, and you still burn rubber. So that's the thing with dating, you know. That's the thing with dating. That's kind of a hard, you know. That's kind of hard. So once a person, you know, be set on you changing. I live in my mama's house now. I get my own house. Then you burn rubber on me. Now I'm gonna feel a certain way. So in that instance, that's a tough one, you know, especially when you're dating someone. Yeah, that's a tough one. That's why I say look for somebody. Look for you don't want perfection. You don't because there's no such thing as perfection. So you want somebody you know that has majority of the qualifications. I think you know what I mean because most women want a guy to have he should have his own spot, but people go through their drop you know through their situation. So you should have somebody that has their own place to be because I don't want you to be dating and then we can't go nowhere. We gotta pull up in the alley and all that. No, that's not women. No, especially if she's been working all day and I've been working all day. You know, I had my own fortunate. I was a grown man. I took care of my kids. I raised my kids. I had 3 to 4. I started with 3. Then I got my daughter, my other oldest daughter. So I had 4 kids, and I raised them in my own house. So I was able to, if I had a date, I could bring them over and, you know, with my kids and we can watch TV or we can go upstairs, whatever. I had my own stuff. So I always firm believer as a man, you know, we do go through things where we can't have it, but you should have a place of residence. You should have a car. You know, those are certain things, you know, I grew up on we should have as a man. But I mean, I had to hear from y'all perspective. I just
Should you date if you don't have your own house as a man? If a man doesn't have his own house, apartment, is he ready to date?
You asking me or
Oh,
them?
I'm asking anybody.
Oh, go ahead.
What are y'all thoughts on that?
Well, I think yeah, you still should be able to date if you don't have your because you don't know. I guess I can think. Yeah, how can I say it? Because yeah, should you
I,
have your? That's a good one.
I
Should you?
think it depends on why you're dating, right?
Okay,
Uh,
that's a good
if you're
one. Why you
dating
dating?
to have fun, if you're dating to marry, yeah, you should have your
Yes,
own place.
that's a good. That's it.
But if you're dating just to be dating, uh, you know, you got to be
Mm-hmm.
upfront and let the person know. Listen, this is, you know, I'm not trying to get serious. I'm looking for companionship right now, and these are my issues.
Uh-huh.
And if they can handle that, if not, move on. There's other people out there.
And I think it depends on what I, you know, everybody has their own preferences. Me, if I was single, I'm not dating nobody who don't have their own place, who don't have their own way around. Like, to me, you ain't ready to date me. That's all I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying. You maybe somebody else, you may be, but because I know. So here's the thing, you know, how people talk about what I bring to the table and all that stuff. I'm the table, blah blah blah. No,
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe that. But I believe that I need somebody at least to have a certain standard, at least a starting place. And for me, if you don't have your own place, first of all, where you living? If you don't have your own place, I don't know, where would you be living? But I mean, that would be a requirement for me.
Mm.
Tony, I have a few people who are on YouTube, and they said that we're on privacy and they can't get in.
Oh,
Mm.
okay. Let me see.
Um, mm.
Okay, let
Hold
me
on, let me
try
see.
and change it.
What happened?
Somebody is trying to watch what's going on in YouTube, and it's on privacy. They said.
Okay, I'm gonna go in there and try and change it while it's on. I don't know if it'll let me because we actually are coming on through StreamYard, so I don't know if I can do it right now.
So that's what I've learned in my 9 years of dating. That you date for fun. Sometimes you might find somebody out there that you consider wife material. So I never put a tag on it until I get to know the person.
Mm. Mm.
How do you know? Because this is a question I get asked a lot by like women. You know, how does the man know that you are the one?
Well, at first, it's always about attraction first. Uh, that's what grabs you. It's what happens afterwards that keeps you there. So, um, in my experience, you know, with my first wife, um, I didn't know right away, but I knew that she was wife material uh, based off of some of her attributes, right? Of course, I was attracted, but there was other things that kept me there. But now, since I've dated in 9 years, it's a lot more difficult now. I don't know because society has changed. Have women changed? Have men changed? I'm sure it's uh, a lot of that. So, um, how you know? I think all that is individual. Again, it depends on what you're looking for. So, as a man, most men want respect um, in anyone that they're dating. So that'll be the first thing I look for, a person who respects me.
Mm.
So that I'll say that's number one. First thing, respect.
Mm.
More than love for a man is respect.
Mm.
Am I muted?
No, we hear you.
Oh, Rich left.
No,
Oh,
Rich right there.
okay, Rich. So how do you know? Because you've been married twice. So how did you know?
Yeah, I knew you was gonna bring it up. I was waiting for it. But at any rate, see what I'm saying, sure. I don't know. That's a good question. We were talking about this in the singles class I told you about. Everybody has different views. We can go spiritual, we can go natural. I don't know. I really cause being married twice, you think you got the right person, and then you
Mm-hmm.
see, because sometimes maybe it could be the right person. Maybe y'all, I don't know. Timing, I can't say. Because it ain't God. God ain't telling you wrong, all right? Or I mean, he telling you right, he not telling you wrong. So I don't know. Because that's the question I always ask myself. If it's the right person, shouldn't y'all just well, really, we should be asking you all. How did you all know? Because I'm trying to figure it out. Cheryl dating vegetarians. Sam is what it is. So we need to ask you all what's going. Yeah, I'm talking about you, Cheryl. I'm gonna talk about you. How did you all, Tyrone? How did you know? Tony, how did you know? Other than Tyrone wearing that one outfit to the barbecue that time. Yeah,
You
I
remember
remember.
that, huh?
I
Yeah.
That would have made
remember.
me think that he wasn't the one.
That's what I'm saying. So how
Right.
did you? That's what I'm saying.
How did I know? I knew because I'm in tune with God, and I did feel. Guess what? As I told you, I don't know. Well, I said it before. I was seeing somebody else at the
Mm-hmm.
time, right? So I wanted to be with that person, and in the inside, I felt the Holy Spirit tell me that Tyrone was it, but I didn't want to accept it.
Why?
So
Because he didn't come in the package that you wanted him to come in at the time. I mean, we being honest, Tyrone already know y'all been married for a decade now, or whatever. So he know, but he didn't. It wasn't what you wanted.
Right. It
Okay.
wasn't who I wanted. At the
Okay.
time, I was a knucklehead because I dated knuckleheads for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
You
Okay.
know, I knew Tyrone. I could tell off bat, like he was different. You know, I knew that he would take care of me. But you know how they say some women don't want a nice guy?
Mm.
Sure.
I
I mean,
I
yeah, you
I
right.
knew who he was. I could see him when I first seen him. I knew who he was. And I just wasn't, that's just not what I wanted. But again, God knew who I needed.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm.
Tyrone,
So
how did you
when you say that God told you, how long did it take for God to tell you?
when I say God told me
Yes.
on the first date?
Okay.
At the end of the date, I was trying to be like in denial of it. Like, cause I wanted to be with old boy. And I felt it inside of me, you know, that this is for you. But I didn't want to hear it.
Mm.
Other than the barbecue outfit, you
So
knew.
What? The barbecue outfit did not happen until later.
That's right.
Okay, my fault.
so
My,
Yeah.
so are you saying that God is going to tell you right away?
No, what I'm saying is that God is going to tell the man because he told Tyrone he told him at the dinner too. He told him before he told me.
Right.
You know, a lot of men say that to women. God told me that you're my wife.
Do you think it's not true?
Right.
Uh,
somebody lying. 'Cause
The Bible says, "Man that find a wife finds a good thing." He didn't say God. Okay, he said man. So I
No,
don't think
no, he
so.
didn't. He
So
said he. He said he.
he is man.
Okay, so he should have God in him and should be able to know when God is talking.
So I think what Sam and now let me not
I
think
don't
what
think
Sam.
I don't think the word would get it wrong like that.
Well, it's not wrong, right? It said he that finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains
Yes,
favor from the Lord.
and yes, and finds favor once he finds a wife.
Okay, so cool. Pick, right? Then that means y'all pick. But some of y'all pickers off.
Yes, yes, but
Well,
I think that's that happens between both people. It
The
happens between both people.
Mm-hmm.
the
Yeah,
picking.
you can get it. You can get it wrong, and I really I don't think it's wrong. I think if you ask God to bless your relationship, both of you, He will bless the relationship.
Nah, I don't know about that.
When you well when you I think you're always gonna have issues in every relationship,
Right.
Sure
right?
enough.
Right.
But some of them issues be too much. Yeah. Yeah,
I'm
some
sure.
of them.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
sure.
That's why you divorced how many times?
A few times.
How many?
A
wow.
few times.
A few. But see, you keep
Yeah.
saying a few. I don't know what a few means. That's to me like three, you know.
But
So
Let's be clear. He started off by
let's
saying
say this.
a
Let's say
couple.
this. Let's say this.
But it's been
Right.
and we all here to be honest. Like,
Every time I got married, I thought
Mm-hmm.
it was that person was the one.
Mm.
Right. And sometimes I still think that person is the one. We just did not have enough ourselves to keep ourselves together. I don't think
Mm.
God broke us apart. I think it was we ourselves. We're
mm-hmm,
human.
mm-hmm,
So can I say something, Tony, real quick?
mm-hmm.
So this, I asked my dad this question in the class last week. I asked him because we talked about this very thing. How did he know that my mom was the right person?
Mm-hmm.
This is what he said. He said foolishness because they were young, and she reminded him of my grandmother, his mom, who I never met. She died the year I was born. But so with that being said, we talked today about some stuff. I told him this dating game is different, Dad. It's not. This ain't the mid-70s. But
Hold on. Hold on.
sometimes I don't, and that's why I answer honestly. You don't know. You can say anybody. I go ahead and be like Cheryl, my wife. This person, my. You know what I'm saying? You can say we can always put it off on God. Oh God, so God ain't told you nothing. You
Don't
told
tell
yourself
don't
that
tell
because
me what he ain't told me though.
no. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about people.
Oh, people, yeah,
No,
people.
not you. I can't tell you what God told you. What I'm saying is we like to put it on something.
True.
But I do believe, because then again, if I look at my dad, he's married to my mom almost 50 years. So that means he don't have another soulmate. He was with her till death did them part. But dating is different in your 70s as compared to your 20s. It's
Dating is
totally different.
different in your 50s than it
Right.
is in your
And
40s
that's what I'm
and
saying.
30s.
That's why I told you. I don't know who to write. That's why I could have said Crystal was when I date, you know what I'm saying? But then when you look back
Oh, you
and
did.
you take the hold up, let me finish. I don't need you to tell my story for me. I'm gonna tell my story. Okay. Cheryl, you hear her cut now? But what I did learn from that situation, I was vulnerable. My mom was sick. She had a parent loss. You get into stuff, you probably moving too fast, doing things, whatever. Oh, I'm in love. No, you're in lust. Once you learn how to kind of decode, like right now, it's like, she okay, but this one, you know what I'm saying? Then I think it'll just happen at some point. When Cheryl was talking to the vegetarian, I almost knew. I was like, this ain't gonna work because I'm listening to Cheryl. I'm
Mm.
like, it's gonna be something. He ain't taking other hero's chicken. He ain't doing this. That I heard it. So
Mm-hmm.
as a result, we here now in March, Cheryl. And back to my man Sam. No matter how many times he been married, he trying to get it right. That's why we here. If he's married as
I
many
just
times
asked
as
a question.
Jaja
I
Gabor,
just I just asked a
yeah,
question.
because
If
she
he
gonna
was
call
married
you out,
five
Sam.
times,
She be trying
if
to
he
call you.
was
See how she
married
called me
five
out.
times, just say it.
Oh, that's fine.
Right.
I'm sure there'll be a time I call her out too.
Right.
Yeah, just I feel
But you
like
know
just
what?
say how many times you've been married. It don't matter.
Yeah. So the married. Oh, but you know what? That was the first for me. I've dated plenty of women, and I never said she's the one, or
Mhm.
God told me she was the one. So it,
And
it
he
never
wasn't even
happened to
into
me.
God like that.
Yeah, I wasn't even into God, but I dated plenty of women. I can't even think of one of them that I can say I'm gonna marry. I couldn't even think of one that I could say, okay, me and her the one. We're gonna get married. No, I couldn't think of that until I met her. So when I met her, it was different because she was a challenge. Look at her. But yeah, but she was a challenge. It was true facts. She was a challenge. I had
Well,
other
man,
women's.
we
They
do
didn't.
we
I
do
had other
love
women.
challenges, though. We do.
Yeah, I had other women, and they never challenged me. They never challenged me, but she challenged me. And on the first date that we had, she did. Now she told me to be prompt, be on time,
Oh,
but
yeah.
her ass was late. So that was another thing. So I'm like, okay, she got to be the one. She gonna tell me to be on time, and then she come a little
Oh,
late.
oh.
So so I'm like, okay, but I never met when we got into the thing and something came over me, Holy Spirit just came over my heart. And before I left out of there, I said, she the one. But I mean, you know what? But I believe that was the on the way in. But afterwards, yeah, on the way out. But I think we was in the parking lot and she told me the truth. Or did she tell me at the table? One or the other. I
No,
think
you right in the parking lot.
at the
We was
parking lot, she told me what happened, and I'm like, damn, I appreciate the truthness and being able to tell me the truth. But then I was at the point like, because she said she didn't know what she was going to do, and I was at the point. I'm like, you know what? And I was kind of upset at God because I was like, He let me down. I'm like, man, He let me down, man. I thought it was the one. I'm like, man, I got to start over again. I got to, I was all geeked. You know what I'm saying? I was telling everybody, this is the one. I'm like me. I'm like the Matrix, Neo. She the one. But it
So
didn't.
Tyrone, were you looking for a wife?
At that point, yes, because I was looking for a wife because uh, I've been through a lot. I've been through a lot of relationships where I was messed up too. So I was doing stuff, and I just said I never wanted to blame everybody. I took a little something out of each relationship, the kid's mother or whoever it was, the kid's mother or whoever they was. I took a little bit out of each relationship, and I said I can't blame them. I got to look at myself and see what I did wrong. I said I can't say what they did wrong. Okay, they did wrong, but I did stuff wrong too. So I tried to correct myself and get myself right. So I was looking when I saw her, I was like, boom, she was on somebody's page. And I saw her on the page. I'm like, man, she bad. You know what I'm saying? And I never had nobody as beautiful as her in my eyes. So I'm like, man, this woman, she bad. I can't get her. I'm like, it's a challenge. I'm like, I got to get her. I got to try to get her. You know what I mean? And then when we talked to the same person, mutual person, and we both mentioned each other, oh, it was on. Oh, it was on like butter
So
on popcorn then.
so it looks like Tyrone was looking for a wife,
Yep.
and he found a wife.
Facts. Okay, I
Well,
see what
praise the
you're saying.
Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There
That
you
is the
go. Good.
same
Yeah,
thing.
Sam, I am. There you go, Sam.
That's the same
Yep.
thing I was saying just now in so many words. I didn't say
Yes,
it like that.
yes.
I'll say it like how Tyrone said, we speak different, right? Men and women speak different. I was saying the same thing that you said. But
I don't know.
you
Right.
said it in a man perspective. That's all I'm
She cleared
saying.
it up.
Yeah,
You cleared it up.
yeah. But I think he was looking for a wife. He found
Yep.
him a wife. You both asked God to bless the relationship. And
Yep.
again, I'm sure everybody has issues, but they don't have that stick to itness. Is if that's a word. If
That's
not,
it.
I just made
Stick
one
to
up.
it.
No, that's right. Stick to it.
Yeah,
Stick to it. You stick
So
to
yeah.
it.
then people just so quick
To let it
nowadays to
go.
walk away. And I was one of them. Like in the beginning, like it took a lot for me to. I came with trauma, so it took a
Mm-hmm.
lot for me to work through and become who you see now. Like I had a whole lot, and I was a runner.
So
So
were you going through that trauma while you're with Tyrone?
you said, was I?
Yes. Were
Yeah,
you?
I'm. Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like with
I'm glad you stuck to it, Tyrone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we
yeah.
fought through it. I was able to talk to her. I was able to talk to her through the trauma. She was able to realize that the trauma she had and come and apologize for what she did and promise to work on herself. And that
Wow.
was the good thing. That was a good
Okay,
thing right
so
there.
I you asked me what do you look for? Right? Respect one,
Mm-hmm.
accountability number
There you
two.
go. There you go. Accountability.
Well, and
That's big. That's big for a woman.
That's big. Yeah.
a man.
Yep.
Yeah, it.
Accountability. She took
I'm just
accountability.
talking about what I'm looking for.
Yeah. Accountability. Yeah. She took accountability and said, hey, I'm
Yes.
gonna take care of it. And she worked on it, whatever she had to, and she
And I
handled the
find
issue.
out there in dating, you don't have a lot of women that take accountability.
Mm.
Well, well, well.
Because when you ask them a question, um, if you had um, to say anything about your last relationship, what would it be? They always say, well, I was unevenly yoked or he did this. They never take accountability.
Mm.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's difficult sometime out there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Tara, what you think? You quiet. You've been quiet too long. What you think, Mac?
I'm listening. I thought I was enjoying the perspective from brother-in-law. It's good to hear. First of all, it's not enough times that we women allow men to speak.
Mm-hmm.
I have a bad habit. I'm like a double dutch. I'm trying to jump in So I wanted to allow him to speak, and I learned a lot. So the more I listen, now as they say, that's why we got two of these, and only one of these. So I'm trying to
Right.
listen more. So the reason why I didn't jump in is because I'm typically a jumper in. I'm trying not to jump in. So
Right.
I enjoy the perspective, and I'm trying to learn. The older I get, the more I realize it's time to sometimes sit back, and I will learn. The more I listen, the more I learn. And that is just what happened today. Because I thought I heard the story about them
Mm-hmm.
61,000 times, but I really haven't. Because
Mm.
each time I learn something different about them. And I also typically say that they are one of my favorite couples. I don't know a lot of happily married couples. And so when I look, I see that they both allow each other grace.
Mm-hmm.
They both allow each other space.
Mm-hmm.
They both allow each other to, hey, like right now, she's in one state, he's in a whole nother state. And she ain't sitting there worried about, I wonder what this ninja is up here doing. And he ain't sitting there worried about what she's doing either. Not to say those thoughts don't ever cross their mind,
Right.
because that's the reality of things. But
Mm-hmm.
they both allow each other to, they got money has to be made. And then when they come back together, we were just, me and my other sister and family went to visit, and it seems like there's never been like, they didn't miss a beat. So I enjoyed that about them. So what do I think? I think that a lot can be learned from sitting and watching and
Mm-hmm.
listening and
Mm-hmm.
learning. That's what I
Mm-hmm.
did. Tonight
That's
is my
it.
time to learn.
Yeah.
That's what
Mm.
I'm doing
Yeah.
today.
That's good.
And thank
That's
you for
good.
the compliments.
Compliment.
Yeah.
Thank you. Because I
Yeah.
believe Cheryl's the one who said, I think she realized in Sam and her marriage that she never just blamed him. I believe, right, Cheryl? She
No,
always said she
I
always
didn't
took
blame
her
him.
accountability, and that was different. She took her accountability because most women say, blah, 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 blah. He was this, he was
He
a
did
cheater, this,
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 he
this.
did that.
Right, but I
Yes,
think
No.
yes,
Cheryl took her accountability. She
Yeah,
took
I
yes.
her
mean,
You
and I
get
and I
accountability.
you
learned
get
a
that.
lot from that. I learned a lot from him and that
Right,
situation. I am the woman I am today because of being married to that particular man. I mean, we
hmm
all gonna go through what we gonna go through with whoever
right.
we choose to align ourselves with. But I aligned myself with the great one. I mean, he was really a great one, and even to this day, I'm happy that he aligned himself now with another woman, so they can build and they're growing their family. It
hmm
makes me happy. I literally ask my son all the time, "How daddy and wife doing?" And I do
hmm
because I want them to be happy. Because nonetheless, I'm sitting over here. People sometimes think that I'm lonely. Definitely not lonely. I am alone in the sense that I'm not partnered up with someone, but I'm not alone in the sense that, oh, woe is me. God,
hmm
how come you didn't put me? No, I'm right now. I don't have a problem with being single. I
Right.
don't.
So you content in the state that you're in.
I am. I'm content in the state that I am because it allows me to grow. It allows me to go as sometimes I text brother-in-law and I say, "You going to get the money?" And he'll be like, "Yeah, going to get the money." So
hmm
that's what I have to do. I realize like the state I'm in right now. I'm not gonna do this all of my life. I Weird thing, not weird, but uh, I have a ex who reached out and was like, if he get a chance, oh, if he get a chance again, he just want me to marry him. He just want me to take his pension. He about to retire soon. All I got to do is just come over there and help make life better. He didn't realize. No. So I said all of that to say is just because people are offering, just because people have, sometimes you realize after the fact that you made mistakes, he realized the error of his ways. I asked him all of that. Yeah, but that don't matter. And I'm not sitting here about no worrying about somebody else's money because I go get my own.
Right.
Would it
I
be
got it.
nice to share to share a load with somebody? Yeah, because instead of me paying for this, that, and the other, and always coming to brother-in-law and being like, dude, how much? This 1,500 this week. It's 1,900
hmm
4 months from now. It would be great, and not just for the money to somebody else to take some load off of me, but just to
Right.
as a unit. But right now, I'm gloriously happy
You,
being over here by myself.
you just need somebody from the west side.
Oh
That's
Lord.
what it that's what it sounds
Hmm.
like to
To-
me.
Not at all.
Tony and Tyrone, I have a question.
Come on with.
How long have you guys been married, and what ages were you when you got married?
Uh-oh.
We've been married 9 years, and we got married. We met in July and got married in September of the same year. So
Yeah.
we literally like grew together, like grew learning
Mm-hmm.
each other. We didn't know each other for real. And some of the stuff I'm learning, and probably him too, it like year eight
Mm-hmm.
was one of them years, like, man,
Right.
it was
Right.
rough because
Yeah.
the reality of things started to come into play. I really
Mm-hmm.
started learning him, like for real, for real.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Before that, we didn't really have any conflict or any issues. We did though. We just
Mm-hmm.
didn't talk about
We
them,
just didn't talk about it.
you know.
Right.
So I was 44. I was 44 when I got married.
And I
Okay.
was and
So
I was
another question. Go ahead. I'm
and I was
sorry.
40. And I was 40.
Okay. So you guys got married later in life. I think a lot of couples, the reason why people get divorced a lot is because when we're young, like to Richard's point, we're probably more attracted and lustful for each other, and we don't talk about things, right? As we mature, I think we start to know ourselves a little better. But what in that eighth year, what allowed you guys to stay together? What what was it?
You want to talk first, or you want me to go?
Go ahead. From your perspective.
From my perspective, uh, I wanted to. I'm down for the challenge. I want this to work. I want it in my. I want it. I know this is meant to be. I'm willing to fight for this woman because I love her. I want to be with her for the rest of my life. So I'm willing to do whatever it takes. If it's I need to straighten out what I need to do, I need to improve, or I need to do more things, then I'm willing to go. I'm willing to cross that water to do whatever I need to do to be with this woman. I mean, we went through the struggle. We done been through the year 8, whatever. We like want to give up. You know, sometimes I wanted to give up and say, but I've learned not to give up, to keep fighting. Because you go through a storm with somebody, don't give up because it don't work. Just say, forget it. Let's just get divorced. No, it don't go like that. We have to fight for each other. We know it's right, especially if somebody you want to be with for the rest of your life. And everything ain't gonna be peaches and cream. And a lot of people say, well, y'all, brother, how do y'all keep it spunky and excited and stuff like that? After so many years, we genuinely love each other. We love each other company. So it's. I mean, that's all I gotta say. I mean, I'm just real happy to be in this union with this woman because she's down for me. It's just been. I like the steps and the things we went through from the beginning. And I realized I have issues. She realized she has issues. She work on hers. I work on mine, and we willing to go to the end with each other. We willing to say, okay, he got problems. I got problems. We both got problems, but let's fight for each other because we're better together. To me, we're better together. Together, we make stuff happen, man. We can do a lot of things together. Not saying I can't do it alone, but I love to have my companion. My compadre. I love to have my compadre right there with me. So even though I'm not here right now, we work together. We're able to make each other better, and that's the key.
That needs to be a love song, R&B song. It really does. Tony, can you tell me what in that eighth year what allowed you to stick to it? Because you do know 70% of women are the ones who file for divorce. So what made you stick to it, Tony?
I never in my mind had in mind divorce. Um, I believe like words have power. So if you talk about divorce, I am a solution focused person. but it got rough. I mean, it got the roughest that it did. But I believe that it was going to get better. You know, I just knew we had to, there were things that we had to dig in and really deal with. We had to not just look from this rose colored glasses that we had up to year 7. We had to look and see reality. And so once we really saw, you know, we, I think we just both dug in and knew that it was going to, a change was going to come, you know, like Sam Cooke said, a change was going to come. Because I just, for me, I don't want to see myself divorced again. I believe, and I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist. So I know a lot of the struggles that I see with other people, you know, and I'm like, you're going to have that, but you got to look at the cost benefit analysis of your relationship, right? So overall, there weren't a lot of things that were in need of, or that weren't correctable, that we couldn't correct, that we couldn't overcome.
Right.
You know, he just is an overall great guy. I probably am the one who come with more stuff than he does, you know, and so I had to at some point look at myself. You know, I had to work on me. I mean, sometimes I'll be thinking I know it all, you know, and so I
No, really?
Ah!
I told you I'd get you back. I told you I'd get you back.
Yeah, I had to learn how to really come under subjection, even when I felt like I knew more.
When you say subjection, what do you
Mean like allow him to be the man.
mean?
I'm gonna dig in and put the work in. Like if it's something I want, it's done. There is no questions. It's going to be done. But sometimes in marriage, you have to allow both to be able to do their part. And so a lot of it was me trying to control, you know.
Whoa.
Yeah, me trying to make it happen.
Whoa.
Yeah, without including him. So
Whoa.
stepping back.
That's very big of you too.
That's big. Yeah.
Well,
That's big. It
I'm
really
learning.
is.
I'm learning me.
Yeah.
I'm learning me, right? Like we got roles, and I will cross a boundary quick. So, hey, I had to learn how to just be my role as a wife. And I'm still learning that. Because I'll cross it real fast. Like on the basketball court. Real quick. You know?
That should be a love song too.
Yeah.
A lot of love songs, a lot of love songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it really was just, you know, learning more about ourselves and being willing to work on ourselves.
Okay, with that said, right, and the reason why I said that both of you have love songs, right? I find that a lot in relationships. Again, the accountability part. You talked about respecting him enough to allow him to be a man, right? I think women talk a lot about, I want a man to lead, right? A godly man to lead, but you have to be able to follow, right? So why do 70% of women file for divorce?
Because we're emotional for the most part. Women can go off of their emotion in the moment, right? Feeling something that seems like it's unchangeable. And it takes time sometimes. Step off that problem. You know, sometimes you got to step off of it and look at what else is good. Like I couldn't do that in my first marriage because it wasn't good.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's some good in there, right? Step off the problem and then really focus on what is working.
Mm.
And so women, I think a lot of times do. They get stuck in their heads, in their emotions in here, and can't move from that space. All you do is see that problem.
70%.
That's just, that's how I see it.
That's a high percentage.
Yeah, it's true. Though 70% of women file for the divorce.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't know that.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
So
that means that men are willing to stand in there, but sometimes they're not willing to change.
That's a good one.
But isn't that on both ends though, Tony?
No. Yes, but what I'm saying is using the numbers. 30%. If 30% in file, right, then it means 70% are willing to stay in the marriage. They want the marriage, but do they really want it? Because if you want it, you're willing to make some corrections. And sometimes I think it's a stuckness in men. Like, you met me like this. This how I am. This just how I am. Accept me for who I am.
70% though, Tony. So that has to do with a lot of different other things. I don't think it's just the men that want to do this. I've heard women say we grew apart. What does that look like? Because if y'all going apart, then you're not doing something and they're not doing something either. Maybe to make the marriage work.
Mean that growing apart could mean one is going, at a different.
But what I'm saying is I'm using that as an example. You're right, not to cut you off, but a lot of times we want to look at the other person. Me and my pops were just talking about this today. Like, well, you tit for tat, but ain't you tit for tat when we always it's scriptures in the Bible. He sent it to me. A man's ways is always right in their eye, man or woman. So when you in a relationship, it's easy to say what the other person not doing, but what are you doing? How do you contribute to the demise? And I don't think that's just, okay, 70% of these people is just men just not doing whatever. No, our pride, our past, it's different things that come into the middle of different things when that goes on. If you ask me, it's not just, these men are bad. Because if we not perfect, like Tyrone said earlier, nobody's perfect. And I'm not directing this at you, Tony. I'm saying across the board, of course. Then if we're not perfect, then should you allow this person mercy and grace on both ends, depending on what it is?
It should go both ways, but I guess, well, what was the question? What was the actual question? And Mac had to get off because she said she has to travel at 4:15 in the morning. So
okay, that's cool.
Sam, great to meet you. She's looking forward to you on the team.
All right, Mac Daddy.
Okay, let's see what Deborah said. A man should be the provider, the protector, leader, and a believer. A woman has to be willing to, what does that say? To input, focus, listen, nurture, and accept.
So she gave what she thought was both sides of it.
Yep, that's how she sees it. Okay, Rich. So now, what was your actual question?
No, I was just piggybacking off of what you all were talking about. I don't know. Well, I was talking more about the divorce rate because you were saying 30% of this, and we looking at. No, I'm saying 30% of the men. You were mentioning the 30%. So I was saying with the 70%, you mean to tell me 7 out of 10 men are that bad? I'm saying going off the numbers. I'm not saying you.
What I said was women do that divorce a lot of times based off of what? Emotion. Okay. So sometimes it may not be the man per se, but where they are. That's why we always have to check ourselves. We always got to look within ourselves, because if you have an emotion or feeling something as a woman, it's really easy to get stuck in that. And I think that's when they pull the trigger, right? Like when they see no other hope, no other way of coming out of this thing positively. That's how I see it. I think women do it out of emotion.
But does that make it right?
No, of course
No,
not.
no,
Of course not.
right,
No.
Because we break up families, we mess up kids. It's a
right.
bigger picture outside of your emotions, is what I'm saying. Especially with marriage, you form the covenant. I don't believe all these divorces is just, oh well, we couldn't. I mean, everybody could go through that. Like you all said, year 8, y'all had a trying year. It's easy to give up, but you all worked through it. Kudos. Because it's easy to say I'm done. And then my grandmother said this to me. She said, when you change relationships, a lot of times you ain't doing nothing but changing problems.
That
So
is all
now,
you're doing. You
Mhm.
taking that same, unless you learn.
Right.
Until you learn, you just get a new body. You're gonna attract the same thing until you heal and learn.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that as well. I got a question. Someone who I've gone out on a date with text me and asked me to ask you guys a question. We went out on a date and she wants to know you guys' opinion. We went out on a date and you know, she wanted to go to her sister's place. I said, no, I'd rather go somewhere else, right? And
This
so
is
when we
after
got there, I said, you know, it's okay if you have one drink, right? She thought that I should have allowed her to drink as much as she wanted to drink. I don't drink. And so she wants to know. She said she thought I was a classy guy until I said, you know, one drink, please. So what do you guys think?
Hold on. First, let me get some background. So y'all went to a restaurant and
Yes.
then you went to her sister's house.
No. She wanted to go to her sister's house. I said, no, I'd rather, you know, we're trying to get to know each other. I'd rather go out to get something to eat. Neither one of us were really hungry. And I said, you know, it's okay if you have one drink.
Were you
See?
serious?
Huh?
Were you serious?
Yeah. She
Like,
thought I
is
should have said you can drink as much as you want.
this your woman?
No, it's my first date with her. I don't drink.
Okay. But you told her, oh, you told her because you were paying the bill?
Yes.
Oh, well, if you paying the bill, then yeah, you can tell her that. She could have bought her own.
Well, she wanted me to ask that question because she thought it wasn't classy. I said, okay, so I should have let you drink as much as you want. I don't know how much you drink. What if you would have gotten drunk?
Then would that be classy? But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Right. And she's told me that she's gone out with guys to a lounge and they allowed her to drink as much as she wanted to drink. I said that to them.
Mm-hmm.
I know what my pockets could afford.
Okay, so you were being upfront to me.
Yeah.
It's like if you said one drink, you already knew what you could afford.
Yes.
And maybe it wasn't even about that. I don't know. Was it about the money or what was it about?
It was about I only wanted to drink one drink because I don't know, you know,
You
how
don't
she
know her
is.
reaction if
Yes.
she could have drank multiple drinks.
Yes.
Okay. I think that to me that makes sense because Tyrone hates, like in the beginning, when we first got together, I went to a party and got towed off, lit, like had to be carried out the party. And so remember, like we didn't really know each other. So this is like in year one. So he didn't know. And that's embarrassing. That was embarrassing for him. So I think that, yeah, you may want to know that in a different setting. You may want to be able to see what she can handle in a different setting.
Yes.
So I'm in agreement with you.
Tyrone, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Yeah, that's you. She wanted to drink more. So,
No, she wanted
huh?
to drink as much as she wanted.
He
No, he doesn't drink.
right.
She wanted to be able to get as many drinks. She thought it was not classy for him to say you only can have one drink.
Right. He should. That's right. You only need one. You don't want to. If he might would have saw another side and never and never wanted to date her again. You know.
Mm-hmm.
That's yeah. I don't blame him for that because you going on. That's the first date.
Yeah.
First date.
Second, probably, yes.
Second date.
But that's the first time we had actually gone to a restaurant. Yes.
Right.
But isn't classy subjective? Tony, would you classy?
Well, class. I mean, almost anything can be subjective, though.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That doesn't make him not classy.
But it's subjective to
Right.
her. Maybe it
Right.
did. Maybe
Right.
it, right? So that's her definition.
He could have thought she was an alcoholic.
Well, he could have.
That's
That's
true.
what I'm saying.
That's true.
That's what I'm saying. Looking at different sides of the spectrum is what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
But she wanted more to drink, right? I think, honestly, 2 drinks don't get you messed up, right? So 1 drink is like an intro. It's like you want another drink. If you're gonna drink, right, you at least want 2 drinks. So I think 2 would have been sufficient. But I can't count your pockets either, because some of these places drinks are expensive. Drinks be more than sometimes the food. You might order 3 drinks and then it's more than what what meal you ordered. So it depends on, was that a good week for you?
Now somebody may say he cheap.
Maybe.
Yes.
Maybe. Yeah.
I'm
And
just
that's
saying.
Are you cheap?
and no, I'm not cheap.
He's frugal. He's frugal.
Right.
He might be
No.
frugal.
Well, that's up to her. I personally, if Tyrone would have told me on that date that we went on, the first date we went on, you can have 1 drink, you don't tell me what to do. That's where I was in my life. That wouldn't have went over well.
Right.
So
What if he told you to pay for the drinks then?
hell no.
See? You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying?
No.
See?
No, that just don't even make sense. I said that she could have bought her own drinks, but legit, like, what woman is gonna really do that? You're on a date. No, she's not gonna do that.
Okay, so on that same date, let me go a little further.
Mm-hmm.
It was time to pay the tip. And she said, let me pay the tip.
Okay.
And she put out about $4. And I said, that woman was really nice. And I added more money to it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
She said, literally, no. Like that.
Mm.
Why?
She thought that I was trying to upstage her. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, no, I just thought the woman deserved more because, this is their livelihood. Right. And she was very good in terms of serving us. Matter of fact, he several times
Sure,
called the woman back and forth.
he said, can I talk to you on StreamYard as a curious white person? Yeah, we allow all races to ask questions. Go ahead. Hey, don't matter what color.
No.
So, okay. So to me, this is
Mhm.
what I see, that all of that is information, and that's what dating is, information. So if she thought you was trying to upstage her, like, where's that coming from? Those are questions I would be trying to get at. Why would you feel like that? Why would I try and upstage you and I'm here on a date with you? What would I get out of that? But that's information, right? She's giving you a lot of information, and I would be inquiring about that, things that are happening. Do you date people like your age group or younger or what? Sam? Oh, he frozen?
No, he must be looking at something. Sam.
I got people texting me.
Oh,
He got an audience. He got an audience.
he got an
Yeah.
audience. Okay. Now, I had it. It says,
What was the question? I'm sorry, Tony. What's the question?
do you date people your same age group or younger, or it doesn't matter?
Both. Yeah, I date younger, and just depends on how attracted I am to you. So,
Okay.
mhm.
Is this one younger or your age?
I'm 64. She's 61.
Okay. I knew she was around your age.
Mhm.
Mhm. Yeah. So some of that is probably just, generational stuff. Does that make sense?
Um,
I think some of the questions or thoughts she is having is generational, more true to y'all generation.
okay.
Yeah. But, ask questions about it.
Yeah, I thought me saying, it's okay if you have one drink, that it was, I wasn't trying to tell her what to do.
But
If she wanted to drink more and wanted to pay for it, she could have, or I could have paid for it, but I would have said,
Mm-hmm. Right.
So
Are you still dating her?
that was a friendly date. It wasn't a I want to be with you date.
Okay.
Oh, well, if it wasn't, then you should have let her drink all she wanted to drink then.
Right.
Because who cares what she get out there and do?
Right.
You ain't
She
trying to
she
make her.
thought it was a date though.
Oh.
Oh.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay.
But I made it perfectly clear that we're not trying to do anything here.
Okay.
Okay.
What you think, Rich? What you think, Rich?
Right. He keep going off camera.
I was talking. You want to know what I think, Sam? You know how I talk.
Yeah, talk.
Keep it moving. Because if we having issues over a drink, what you think, Tony? You the licensed family marriage therapist?
No,
Yeah.
I mean, he
I,
said, but he already said it's nothing serious to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing serious to it. He don't like her like that.
Right. Yeah.
That might have turned him off, maybe.
Right.
Did that turn you off, Sam?
In terms of, well, at the time, she didn't say anything about the one drink. But later on, I guess she thought, and maybe she talked to some friends or something,
Okay.
and they thought, she should have been allowed to drink as much as she wanted. But, you know, they don't know my pockets, and she don't know my pockets. So,
That's true. Okay. Well,
and even if it was like mm, a, a date, I think sometimes if we're trying to get to know a person, right? Uh, how much men are saying, how much do you want to spend?
that is a question nowadays, right? Like,
Yeah.
how much should you spend, especially if you're dating multiple people,
Yes.
because you're going to be coming out of pocket with a lot,
Right.
Yes.
So, what do y'all think? What's y'all thoughts on that, Rich? What do you think as far as a date? I hear a lot of people now, a lot of my clients, they go on coffee dates. So the women are okay as long as they're getting out the house and,
Yeah.
being able to spend some time. A lot of them aren't really caring about where they go. I mean, you got some who do care, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Well, let me say this. This woman is texting me now. She said, "You're cheap."
See? You see what I'm saying, Tony? See?
She
are you
said,
cheap though? Maybe she knows something. I don't know. Are you cheap?
in terms of what?
He said not cheap. He said he's not cheap.
So, okay, then how much would you
We've
spend?
only, how, I mean, why is she making that judgment? And
Right.
we've only gone out, right?
One, twice.
Once, twice.
Right.
Okay. Now, should I make that judgment? You want to drink more? Are you a lush? Are you an alcoholic?
Right.
Did it mean so much? I mean, alcoholics do that,
That's true.
Okay, let's get back to the question.
All right.
How much will you and Rich spend on dates? What's like the most that you'll spend? So you like this chick, right? Like you feel this chick, y'all just got together. How much will you spend? What's your max?
Rich?
Sorry, I was having a sidebar conversation. What's the question? How much
What's
would you spend?
max? You feeling this girl, you like her, but y'all just only been, it's maybe like the second, y'all only been dating a couple times, went out a couple times. What is the max you will spend on a date?
I mean, like, what are we eating all night? I mean, because at the end of the day,
That's not the question.
no. But listen to what I'm about to say. What is a max? I don't. If I'm feeling you, and that's what I want to do,
I'm asking.
that's what I'm saying. I don't have no max. I don't have a cutoff like,
Okay.
oh well, $150. We go to, let's say Papa Do's. I just use that. Now,
Mm-hmm.
I find it strange though, Tony. When it's a man's money, he cheap. But I used to see all these people at the food trucks downtown eating Harold's chicken, and then now all of a sudden when he got to spend whatever. But it depends on the level. It depends on the level you all are. So, like I said, I don't
Wait, what?
Starbucks
Wait, what does that mean? It depends on the
on,
level.
on where you are with the person. See,
Mm-hmm.
I believe in dating, so I'm not about to spend. If I spend, let's just say $50, and I've been out on 4 dates in a week, that's 200 right there.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't about to talk to all of y'all anyway.
But I said you like one. If you like somebody, you're going to be more willing to put more into her than these other ones, because these other ones just kind of fillers.
So let me use a different example. Forget going out to dinner. I use Crystal. When we went out, we went to see Kim. Went out on a date prior to a restaurant I never had been to. Decent restaurant, had a good time. I didn't even eat because I was so much like, man, she's pretty. We both were whatever. So I wasn't even thinking about what it cost. It was a restaurant in Oak Brook. I had bought some tickets to see Kim. I didn't care about all that stuff because at the end of the day, it was about being with that person. You know what I'm saying? So when I look at it, that's why I don't have a cap. Really, it don't have to be dinner. It could be a concert. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say a lot of stuff to me, it can be subjective. Like, well, I spent this type of money, or I did this, or I did that. At the end of the day, if you like somebody, you don't have
Mhm.
those type of rules and regulations. I don't believe like no, but just in
Yeah.
dating, I'm not taking everybody out. I'm spending $100 on my money ain't long like that. Unless it's monopoly money, it ain't long like that.
Mm.
So like Ty knew you was the one. He had it, so he spent all his money on you, or money he was spending on you. Dating, you don't quite know that. Don't we don't know that.
That's what I'm asking. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's what I'm saying. I don't have a cap.
I'm trying to see
Right.
because some men like Anthony O'Neill, Anthony O'Neill who has his show.
Mm,
He's
mm.
what okay, So he has like a budget for dating and he don't go over a certain amount. And
Mm.
he's multimillionaire. So I'm just saying, like, is that a thing?
I've never thought about it. Let me just say that. Just being honest, like, oh, I'm not gonna spend. I mean, if we go out and it's $100, I like you. Come, I'm just throwing a number out there.
Right.
For Sam, he probably didn't like her like that. I don't want to say.
Well,
I don't want to say that. I don't know. You know
well,
what I'm saying?
I'll say this: in the 9 years that I've been single, right? I have spent some decent money on dates, and
What's
then I
decent?
go, huh?
What's decent?
Uh, just depends on what the restaurant is.
No, just give me a number. Like what you was
Um,
decent to you may be like I'd be like
maybe $100,
Okay.
$150, something like that. And uh, at the end of the date, I go, why did I spend all that money? I don't know her like that. But I had to learn, right? I had to learn. So I,
Tony, can I ask a
so now,
question? Can I
go ahead.
ask a question real quick, Sam?
Yes,
And
sir.
it's for everybody. Tony, I'm asking you as being the female, since it's us three guys. Is it about the money a man spends or about the time you spend? I think people hone in on the money. So why can't we build up to certain dates? Like I heard you say Starbucks when I was kind of off the line. I thought it's the date that you want, not the money that's being spent.
I can't speak to that now that I'm married because now that I'm married,
But before,
before, yeah, you had
I'm talking about before, not
yeah,
now. You
before
married.
you had yeah, before you had to spend that bread. Yeah.
See, you see what I'm saying? So
So
she would be different, Sam. He had to
Well,
spend that bread.
women always equate um, what you give to them is how you feel about them,
Uh-huh.
Mm.
right? They equate that. Even sometimes when you're married, they believe that you.
sometimes, right? So
Yeah,
it
I
depends
said sometimes. Yeah.
mhm, it
Hmm.
depends on where that woman is. See, now I know I'm at a different space in life now,
Mhm.
um, where money for me is about building legacy, right? Like I don't have to have the Gucci and Louis and all that where I once did.
Right.
No, but now that's not a major factor to me. It's about what we gonna have when we retire so we can live good.
So I got a question. You're thinking that way because you're married now?
No, I'm thinking that way because I'm mature.
Okay.
Yeah, I matured from that space of things. Cause to be honest, I got a store in my house. I got a store. right?
Mhm.
Like legit, I could have a store with everything that I have. So that still don't make you happy. I learned that for me is being able to be at peace in my mind, and for me, peace in my mind is making sure that we have more than enough to be able to live comfortably, and I don't have to have all these things anymore.
Mm.
I've had that.
So why do women equate how much you spend on them, right, with love?
I think what you said.
Because I'm sorry to cut you off. Because men can be what you want them to be at that moment,
Mhm, mhm,
right? We can spend money on you to make you think that we
Mm-hmm.
feel a certain way about you,
mhm,
but we're looking for, you know, something else
mhm.
for
I think.
that night or for that, you know, moment.
Mhm. Because sometimes one that could be that woman's love language. It could be gifts is her language, right? That's how she feels love.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing wrong with that. If that's her love language, what you're saying is true. Like a man, he'll if they want it bad enough, they'll spend it. So that doesn't mean that they love you. It's really understanding, I think, more of the man thought that y'all could really pour it all out, make it look like
Yes.
love,
Yeah.
but it doesn't mean that. So
Yeah.
technically, a woman shouldn't be just looking at the money unless that's all she wants. If that's all she's looking for is somebody who gonna spend on her, then nothing wrong with that. You know.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're looking for true love, you got to look in other areas.
Yeah. I think society tells us that though.
Tells us to what?
That if a man
Oh, spend.
likes you, yeah, he'll spend money on you.
Mm-hmm.
What
Right?
society does say that. Social
Yeah.
media
Mm-hmm.
says that.
Yes.
Girl, he flew me to Paris.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, fly me to Paris for lunch, right?
Mhm.
No, I'm saying that to my husband. Anyway, but yeah, that's what society does portray. That would be love because he took you to Paris, and it don't mean that.
Mm-hmm.
Or he took you wherever, or spent 10,000 on a bag. Do that still mean he love you? No, he might be trying to get what he want to get. He know you
Mm-hmm.
dropping them after that.
Yes. Let me tell you guys a story.
Mm-hmm.
And and I was trying to tell the girl that I married how shallow women can be, right?
Mm.
To that very thing about what we spend. Well, I had met my ex-wife and uh, we were living together and we were engaged. So I was putting her through her last year of college. I was 28, she was 22. And she was going to a party with some of her friends and they were having a girl party or whatever. And she said, we're engaged. My friend's gonna ask me, where's my engagement ring? I said, it's on layaway. You know how we put things on layaway. And I said, well, let me show you how shallow your friends are. I took a ring that I got out of a bubble gum machine. It looked like a
Mm.
diamond, right?
Mm.
She went to the party. right? Everybody saw the ring and was very impressed by the ring and said, "Oh, he must really love you." Never asked about the type of person I was, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was about the ring. It was about how much money I spent on the ring. I paid for her to get through Loyola in Chicago last year. I was paying rent.
Mm-hmm.
I was paying for the car, everything. But it was about how much money I spent on her. She never said, well, he's paying for all this, he's paying for this. It was about that ring.
I mean, that's how it's viewed in society. It is. Girl, he bought you a 3 carat because you can
Hmm.
figure out in your head about how much a 3 carat costs. Like, he spent all that on you, he must love you.
Yes.
And still end up in the 70%. But go ahead, I'm listening to
That is
you.
true. That you're right. Yep.
Yep.
Hmm. But she walk away with 116 though.
Mm.
Mm, mm,
You know,
You said she walked away with who, Tony?
116,000. Boom.
Mm.
See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying?
yeah. Yeah.
It still come back to the money.
I'm just saying, you like she may if you still end up in the 70%.
You
Yeah,
do. But
Hmm.
maybe, but
let's work on that part. And I think a lot of that comes from how we communicate with one another. The older you are, me and Pops was talking about this today, and I won't put nothing out, related to him. And it's
Mm-hmm.
not bad. He's 72, about to be 73. The same stuff he was telling me today, I'm laughing because I hear the same thing at 48, going on 49. I'm like, Dad, it's a mentality. Mom and you met when you were in your 20s, your 70s. These people have accumulated years of relationships, marriages, kids, grandkids. Like Tyrone was saying, he had kids. So you all have to deal with each other's family, and it's
Mm-hmm.
about who's willing to put in the work when it comes to that. Because you're just going to keep shifting people. You're going to be old, 70, 75 years old. Still say it ain't no. It's pissed in the pool. Nah, well, you in the pool too. So are you
right.
peeing as well?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? So I think when we get out of the mind frame of, and this is what Pop said, what I bring to the table. Well, you got to look at the other part too, instead of just you and it being
Mm-hmm.
about you. Marriage, relationships is a partnership. You're gonna have
Mm-hmm.
good days. We all know this. We all been married on this phone. Good, bad, ugly, great. But you try to
Mm-hmm.
stay in that good, great.
Sitting.
But you learn how to deal with the bad and the ugly. Sam
Mm-hmm.
was talking about that drink. Why are we talking about a drink? And Sam know from just us a drink that
You
doesn't
but
define
you
him
can't
as a
say that.
person.
You
Hmm?
can't say that though, because that's where she is.
Listen
Right?
to what I'm saying though, Tony. It's a bigger picture other than a drink. Maybe his check. Maybe he didn't have money.
We
Maybe he
we
has a
know
roof. You
we
know what
know
I'm saying?
right? But in her mind, she wanted what she wanted.
He wanted what he wanted. And that's what I'm saying. You said
We
what
don't know that. We don't know he wanted what he wanted. He didn't want her. He said he didn't
no, no,
want her.
no. What I'm saying is he wanted her not to buy no more than one drink.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
You know what? You have to get to know who you with.
It's a person been talking to. We went to Red Robin to get some burgers. Had a good time. She don't drink. I don't drink. I actually think she watching. And we just had a good time. I'm just saying. So at the end of the day, Tony, what I'm saying is I thought it was about the company. Back in the day, people they meet 18, 19, they get together. I think we want so much now.
Yeah.
And
True.
it's to cover up for other things. Like, who are you as a person? I don't care about your job. I don't care about none of that, to be honest with you.
But most men don't.
We
Women
don't.
do.
I just
Women
told
do.
somebody that today. I said, I was laughing. I said, Kevin Hart was right. Y'all talking about Keisha at work. We don't give a, I don't care. I'm not asking Sam, I wouldn't ask Tyrone, man, how was work today? I don't care. If you making money, that's what you do. I don't care what you ate, as long as you ate. We different. And I think that's the problem is how we communicate. Men,
How you don't communicate. Because
that
that's
too.
what's going on.
Both.
It
Yeah.
ain't communication that's really happening.
You all have to learn how to communicate with each other. Yeah, and
We
probably still learning how to
still learn.
communicate. Yeah. That's an ongoing thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, if Sam didn't like it, it really didn't matter about the drink, if that's what was said. Because I don't think the drink was the issue. I don't think. I think it was something deeper going on.
Could
And
have
it's
been.
like, no, you're right. It might not be. But I'm saying the drink.
No, I said it could have been. Maybe it was, but that's what comes when you're dating, right?
Right.
It's all information. You got to process that information. What really was underneath the drink, or was it just a drink? Right? That's what.
I think it's a learned behavior, though. Right? With people or women, sometimes that again, you guys equate material things and how much a person actually cares about you. And it's never about the person themselves.
I won't say never.
Well, usually. Because again, I stated facts, right? On a couple of occasions. In these 9 years, I got a lot of stories. Right? And I was dating this one girl, and she asked me to take her to Applebee's. I said, okay, fine, we can go out to Applebee's.
2 for
So,
20.
Exactly. You see what I'm saying, Tony?
Okay, but let me tell you exactly what happened. So in the car, when she gets in the car, I'm on the phone with the bank because one of my bank cards wasn't working right. So I said, "Hey, I'm on the phone with the bank." She said, "Oh, just forget it. Just take me to this fast food restaurant." She jumps out the car. Right? Once she jumps out the car, I'm finished talking with the bank. I go in there and I say, and she's at the counter, right? She once she sees me, she walks and gets into the car. She gets into the car and all of a sudden she says, if you don't want to take me out, you should have said that. You shouldn't act like you were on the phone with the bank. Right? To your point, Tony, right? You're learning about the person.
Yeah. Wow.
Right?
I would have never.
And she bought food for herself. Well, if you thought that I didn't have any money, you didn't even offer. Right? So she's equating again what you spend on her with how much you care about her. And I've learned that. So, yeah, you can only have one drink.
Okay. And you got your limits.
Yeah.
That's kind of like what I was talking about as far as having a budget. You have a limit.
Yes.
As far as how much they can drink. One drink. Okay.
Yeah.
So cool. Let them know up front. If you go out with me, it's the one drink limit.
One drink.
Right. That's what you get. One drink. All right. So let's wrap it up because it's kind of late. And I ain't even ate my dinner yet. Okay. So what is y'all takeaway or a nugget that you would leave in the state that you are in, right? Like, so Sam, you're 64, and dating, single. what would you share with your generation or with others, whoever, what would you share about just the whole dating thing? Same with you, Rich. A nugget, what have you learned? Just leave the audience with something that they can take away from y'all. Whoever wants to go first.
I'll let the elder statesman go.
Um, take your time. Um, to get to know the person. I want to, because you'll be in different situations while you're dating. To your point, Tony, uh, you're gathering information about them, right? So I just say take your time, because this it's more than a notion to date nowadays. So take your time to get to know the person.
Rich.
I piggyback because I was gonna say be patient. Allow a little mercy and grace with each other, but more so have fun. People so serious nowadays. Have fun. Tony, we've been doing this almost 2 years. You know how I am. Like, enjoy the process.
Yeah.
When you become so serious, you'll miss stuff. You all up tight now. Hold on. I'll tell any woman, if you serious, I don't want to talk to you. I don't. Because you don't, and to Sam's point earlier, some of that I think he said is programming, or some he said like what you've been a part of. This man did this. My thing is, if you don't want me to compare my past, don't you compare your past. Let's get to know each other. I understand it's a part of our who we are, but be patient, allow mercy and grace, have fun. That's the number one thing, and stay on the points that you want. Don't, oh well, I want this. Well, it's like I'd be like, do a person really know what they want? I try to stick to those four, because I can be impatient at times. Like, you know what, I'm tired of, I know me. But when it comes back to the having fun part, I think that's what's necessary in dating. Do people really know how to date? That's
No.
my question. You don't think so, Tony? And I don't either.
No.
Dating to me, you can talk to, like I said, the person I went to Red Robin. You want to date. Like I said, she's watching, so it ain't like I'm mad about something. And I told her I'm fine with that. Even if you never make it to a date, you might just want to talk to different people because you haven't had the experience. Me, hey, I'm cool with whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like dating, getting to know a person, because you're gonna know who you want to talk to over time. Tyrone knew he wanted you, even though you wanted Nino Brown, he knew that he wanted you. There you go.
Okay. That's a good point. I tell people that all the time, like, have fun. And I mainly I do see men individually, but I see way more women. And I tell them all the time, stop thinking everybody is your husband. Will you mean, oh, do he fit in maybe he's my husband. Go have fun. Just enjoy the date. Can you just be yourself and just go on the date and have fun?
Yeah.
It's a problem for women. Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
What do you want to leave with singles and married?
I can say is just enjoy life. Just put God first and enjoy life and pray on things. And if it don't work out, then hey, just if you felt you put your all in it and you put your all every bit you could in it, then hey, You know, I think you succeeded at what you need to do. If you need to move on, so yeah, in a relationship, just have fun. Realize that life is too short to be stressed out and worried about it. Have fun and don't take everything so seriously. Just enjoy life. And I mean, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. If it ain't, then it's not. So that's
And
all I got for you.
I
And
say
Mm-hmm.
continue to learn.
Right.
You know, like when you're going on these dates, this is another thing I tell women. Don't go interrogating him.
Mm-hmm.
Don't go like this is a whole like you got a list of questions like you a detective or something. You know what I'm saying?
Say
Go
it again. Say it again for the ones in the back. Quit trying to find out everything so soon so you can be one
right.
step ahead. All he doing, you look what they used to say, Tony, not to cut you off. You go looking for something, you gonna find something.
Mm-hmm.
But
Period.
I think for women, they're not looking to get ahead. They're looking to see if that's him. They're trying to see does he fit in the box? Because a lot of times women have the checklist, like I had 43 or 8 things on my checklist,
My
right?
ex-wife had 88. I wrote them, my kid's mom, I wrote them down, took them to counsel. I couldn't believe I said we might as well leave each other alone right now. I stopped
Right,
at about 15. I said, I got 3, because we don't have lists like that. If I
right.
had Sam, he probably don't have more than 5 to 10 things, if that. Tyrone probably had the same thing before you all got, hey, we ain't writing no list like that. Oh, we're not doing that.
But that's why women are asking all they're trying to see does he check the box? You know, when they're asking these questions, they're trying to see, first of all, they like if they're there and they asking these questions, they see something in you that could be potential. So now it's like, let me make sure it checks the box. So I say, really just, enjoy it, just try. And it's tough for women because a lot of times when they say the biological clock is real, it's real. And so and women know there's a shortage of men. That's a real thing. A lot of men in jail. There's not a whole lot of good men
Mm-hmm.
out here. There are good men, but there's not a whole lot. Men have a way greater chance to pick whoever he wants, but women have a less chance to get a good man.
Right.
in the 9 years, the pickings is very slim.
Mm.
Tyrone said it himself. He dated a lot of, well, not a lot, but a few women.
Now, he
Mm-hmm.
dated a lot.
Right.
Okay, well, you dated a lot of women.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a lot that you. It wasn't, but one that you said was my wife.
Right. Yeah.
So the it's not a lot. Sometimes women think that my girlfriend is this, my girlfriend. Well, that's your friend. That's your girlfriend. You don't know her as a partner or a person that goes out on a date.
Right.
They're totally different.
Totally different. Yeah, we talk about that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yep. Yeah. You don't know how that person is. You
Yes.
have to get to know them.
Yeah.
So to say, Sam, you said take your time.
Yes.
Coming from somebody who got married in 2.5 months, right?
Hmm.
I agree with you. I do. You know, I say there's no rush, but a lot of times there is a rush on the inside of a woman.
Hmm.
So if you can slow down more, and then it's not even the slowing down piece that's the most important to me. It's really getting to learn that other person.
Mm-hmm.
Stop trying to put them in the box to fit what it is that you want to fit.
Right.
Hmm.
Really allow yourself to see who this person is.
That's true.
Because it's real when you say I do.
Yes.
Like they show for real who they are, you know? And
Yes.
so just really take your time to get to know that person. If you say this is gonna be who you want to be with for life, you're gonna have some patience.
That's true.
Because y'all both come flawed, and you got to look within yourself. That's another big piece. A lot of times I see with women, because that's who I see majority of, they point the finger at, he don't do this, he don't do that, he don't have this, he don't have that. What you got? You know, what do you are you looking at your own self? And I'll check them real quick. Like, you just told me blah 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 about you. Oh, I ain't see it like that. Or they minimize it when it comes to them. So
Bingo.
the same thing that women, you want a good man, and a good man wants a good woman. So just make sure you're that. Don't think he gonna come in and Captain Save a hoe, right? Be a good one. Be good. And that's all I got to say on welcome back to He Said, She Said, What They Had Said. And we come on we're doing second week of the month, right?
Yeah, second Friday.
Okay, every second Friday of the month. And y'all see how it is. You know, we're hoping to get another woman. Mac will be back. We're hoping to get another woman who is willing to just be herself and be consistent, because that's what we need. You know, we all have different perspectives, and that's what makes a good show. Not everybody who agree, oh, it has to be. No, we all come from different backgrounds and stuff, and so we're going to think differently, and that's okay. So if you are a woman who wants to be on, or wouldn't mind sharing yourself or what you have been through in dating and marriage or divorce or whatever, we need a good woman who's going to be consistent and who's willing to be real and raw and share her stuff. So you can reach out to Rich, Sam, me, Tyrone, and we'll be glad to consider you. Because even in this, yeah, well, this is going to be long term. And so we got to have patience and grace, but we need to know who you are, who you be. So we will be back April. I don't know what date that is.
It's the 11th. That's what I was just looking at. It's the 11th, the second Friday. Yep.
We'll be back April 11th at 7:30 CST. Okay, y'all?
Okay.
Thank y'all for coming
Thank
on.
y'all for joining.
Have a great evening.
You too.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Have a good one, guy.
All right. We get out of